L'Oreal Pro Matte Foundation, and I have it in this Hi everybody, it's Jennifer, and today I'm going to do a first impression of the new L'Oreal Pro Matte Foundation as well as the powder. So if you're interested in finding out my thoughts and review on this foundation, then please keep watching. So I just did my eye makeup. I filmed a tutorial on this eye makeup look, and I will link it down below if it's not already posted. And I already primed my face using the L'Oreal Miracle Blur. So now I'm going to apply the foundation. One side of my face I'm going to use my foundation brush. This is the IT Cosmetics OMG brush. And the other side I'm going to use the Beauty Blender and see which application works best for this type of foundation. This is in the shade 106 Sun Beige, in case I didn't mention it earlier. So now I'm going to use the Real Technique sponge on this side of the face. Just going to add a little bit more for more coverage on my freckles. See if it blurs it out. Okay, so after applying the foundation, this side with the brush and this side with the sponge, I prefer using the sponge. The brushed on side is really thick. It's very full coverage, and it's almost a little bit on the masky side, so it depends on how much coverage do you really need. This is definitely full coverage. If I went with one more layer, it would look way too much and way too obvious, versus the sponge side. It looks a lot more natural. It's definitely a matte finish, and it sets really quickly because it's not sticky at all. It feels dry, not dry skin, but it feels dried already on my skin. So I really like how the sponge side looks. Just to even it out, I'm going to just go over this side that I used the brush and sponge over it, because I think that the brush method was way too thick for the skin. So I'm just gonna soak up the excess foundation on this side. Okay, so my first impression on this foundation, it sets very quickly. It is a demi-matte finish, and it's definitely a full coverage, but not too cakey. I still see my freckles, but it definitely blurred and evened out my skin tone and blurred out my freckles just enough. And it doesn't enhance my pores. It doesn't crease, which is good. So definitely I recommend using the sponge versus using a stippling brush. Now I'm going to set my face using the Infallible Pro Matte powder in the shade 300 Nude Beige. So the powder added just a little bit more coverage. I noticed on my freckles that they did blur out even more, which is good. And this is definitely a matte, a true matte finish, but it's definitely not cakey, so that's good. So I'm gonna finish putting on my makeup, and it is 1:18 in the afternoon, and I will check back with you later. Okay, so I took a flash photo in the hallway, and so far I don't look like I have a floating head. There is no flashback, which is good. And right now it is 3:30 in the afternoon, and so far my skin still looks pretty good. It doesn't look like my natural oils are starting to seep through just yet on my forehead or my nose. There is no fading, and there is no change in my fine lines. There's no creasing. So far everything still looks pretty much the same as when I put it on the first time. So I will check back with you in a couple hours. I took a couple more photos against the window so you can see the foundation in natural sunlight as well. So I will check back with you in a couple hours and give you my final opinion and thoughts on this foundation. Okay, so it is midnight. I've officially worn this foundation for at least 11 hours now without any touch-ups, and of course my natural oils have seeped through. If you can tell, it's really shiny on my forehead and my nose, but the foundation did not fade or has come off. My blush is still on, my makeup's still on, coverage is still good, very little noticeable creasing on my laugh lines, and my pores still look the same. So my final thoughts on this foundation is that I really do like this foundation. It is a medium to full coverage, and it is a good matte foundation for the drugstore. I really like it. I use the Revitalift Miracle Blur as my primer, and this might have helped with prolonging the foundation on my face. And as far as the Pro Matte Powder, I definitely think that it's an okay powder. It does add extra coverage, but overall I'm going to pass on this powder and return it simply because I like the new Maybelline Matte and Poreless powder because it fills in my pores and mattifies. This one mattifies, but it doesn't do anything for my pores. So that's going back. The foundation I am keeping, and I think that this is a good and decent drugstore dupe to the Estee Lauder Double Wear foundation. And so that is my final thoughts on this foundation. I hope you enjoyed it and found it useful, and please subscribe if you have not already, and thumbs up this video. I definitely appreciate it. And please comment down below if you have any recommendations for a foundation that you think I should try. My main concern is to blur out my freckles, and I have an oily T-zone. So thank you so much for watching. Till next time.